Power Rock game? A wild game has appeared.
I wonder what this is.
What could it be? Let's take a look, guys.
What could it be? I do not know. This is an awesome trailer.
Wipe that punch off your face and put this on.
Yep. Yeah, Drew and I were talking about this Friday night.
Gotta
Live action trailer is so good.
You stepped in. Alright, boy. Here, use this. Yeah, come on, guys. Let's take this outside.
Hey, what are you doing?
What are you doing? We don't kiss ghosts.
He was really good for this part. That's Taylor Kitchen.
What up?
Taylor Kitchen.
Outstanding use of the door. Now let's go. This should be fun.
Oh, that's so good.
That was awesome. That is less awesome. Let's see what else this thing can do.
So the wonderful thing about this trailer is that everything that they do in the game in the trailer is something you can do in the game.
Okay.
They didn't want the trailer to be of anything that you were like, oh, I wish I could do this. Kind of like toys that say they could swim on their own and they can't.
Okay. Then so the music, the song they used was by the Raconteurs.
Oh, okay.
Not
Those
the,
Raconteurs?
yeah,
That's a good fit,
not
though.
the Dead Weather. I thought it was Dead Weather.
Guys, obviously we're talking about Call of Duty, and some of you might be playing it right now. I mean, you know, they had the Day Zero edition. Some people got it early. Some people got it Saturday over in the UK because they just don't care over there. But real quick, I do want to acknowledge all of our Twitch hearts before we move officially into this. Thank you, Snyder X, Sarge95, Middle Border HD, Aussie 2 Games, James Sip, Stinky, Zapow03, Jorge, The Testament 067, Javix, Trainwreck, Energized, Gox Vid, Ace Macer, Strand, NY, NYC Assassin, Hooters 2, Red Dead Pain, Oculus the King, Random Izzy, Ager, McDermott, Frost 5, Fantasy Factory, and I think we're caught up now. But also thank you to Shot277 and Mundyverse for the YouTube subscriptions, and my food is dead.
All right, let me change something I said. All right, they claim that that's what the trailer was for and why they made the trailer that way, and I agree. I understand it because everything that they did show that you could do in the game, you can't, or in the trailer, you can do in the game. No, you can't kiss goats.
Okay.
They said
That's
it in
not-
the trailer.
that's
We
not-
don't kiss goats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he did say that we don't kiss goats.
So there you
We don't
go.
kiss goats.
The trailer is 100% accurate.
Who's coming in?
Master Rager, but we really need, we're going to
Yeah,
run
we're
out of time if we don't talk about this. Sorry, guys, no Skype calls right now. We should take that down, but your phone's dead. My phone's dead. Don't acknowledge the banner.
Everybody's phones are dead.
So, guys, Call of
Wait, mine
Duty
isn't.
out right now if you have Day Zero, out Tuesday if you don't. If you pre-ordered at GameStop, you get Day Zero. You guys already know that if you pre-ordered. But this is the first Call of Duty from Sledgehammer Games. They are now the Triforce of developers on the series, including Infinity Ward and Treyarch Games, as I think most know. Infinity Ward has been very well known for the Modern Warfare series, but also worked on Ghost. And then you've got Treyarch, who was focused on Black Ops, a series that actually has become a fan favorite, I think. And Advanced Warfare might turn into a new branch of Call of Duty games for Sledgehammer if it does well, which it sounds like it might. Now, Sledgehammer has worked on Dead Space in the past. They haven't really worked on first-person shooters, per se, like this. This is new for them.
Right.
Is there something you want to say?
So no. Everybody's just talking about the goat thing, and then Possible says, "Wait, no kissing ghosts. I'm canceling." And it's pretty much that the whole chat room.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry. But let's talk about the single-player mode first. Oh, no, actually, sorry. First, let's talk about Sledgehammer and what they were meant to focus on, which is kind of interesting. Back when Modern Warfare 3 was in development, Sledgehammer was tasked with making a third-person Call of Duty, and it was supposed to be set during the Vietnam War. But Modern Warfare 3, at the time, you know, with people leaving and all that good stuff happening, they needed help. So they went to those guys and said, sorry, you're 6 months into development on this, but we don't care. We need help on Modern Warfare 3. Sledgehammer put that game to rest, and I think probably thought this is our opportunity. Actually, this could get us into the mainline Call of Duty games, and Oh, look what happened. It seems like that's the case. Now they are a mainline Call of Duty developer on Advanced Warfare, which might become its own little branch. When it comes to the single player, obviously I think most people know that it takes place in the future. It's a futuristic exoskeleton type suit that you've got going on with many powers that you've seen throughout the live action trailer, and you'll be able to use that in single player and multiplayer. Right there, a gadget that you used was able to locate all the enemies on the field so that you can then pick them off. Some really cool stuff that they're doing in this. Now, the game begins with a simultaneous terrorist attack on nuclear reactors in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. And because of this, it cripples defenses all around the world and throws governments into chaos. In a moment of desperation, the United States enlists the help of Atlas. Now, one of the pivotal characters in the game is, I think most people know, Jonathan Irons, played by Academy Award-winning director Kevin Spacey, something I think nobody saw coming at the time. It's
so perfect, especially given his role that he plays on
recently.
One of the most popular programs.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, sure, yeah.
I won't want to call it TV shows because it's not.
It's House of Cards.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are calling this House of Cods. I think fits really well. But yes, he plays Jonathan Irons, who is the leader of the private military organization that is called Atlas. It is his belief that democracy doesn't make sense because the nations America has been trying to give democracy to for the last 100 years do not have the means to support it. I think this monologue from one of the trailers fits it perfectly. He says, democracy is not what these people need. Hell, it's not even what they want. America has been trying to install democracies in nations for a century, and it hasn't worked one time. These countries don't have the basic building blocks to support a democracy. Little things like we ought to be tolerant of those who disagree with us. We ought to be tolerant of those who worship a different God than us. That a journalist ought to be able to disagree with the president. And you think you could march into countries based on some fundamental religious principles, drop a few bombs, topple a dictator, and start a democracy? Give me a break. People don't want freedom. They want boundaries, rules, protection from invaders and from themselves. People need a leader who could give them support and the constraints to keep chaos at bay. You give them that and they'll follow, and that's where I come in. So I don't know for sure yet, but he might be a villain.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see the actual story mode on this.
Yes, because right now I'm not sure.
I haven't watched any of them. I know people have been playing it all weekend, and I'm actually interested to see. My theory is, I don't want to ruin it for everybody. I have a theory. You're playing for him and not realizing that you're the bad guy
that could
until,
be cool.
Like, you know, all of a sudden at the end it's just like, all right, you're doing all these
things. Because you do play as a private named Jack Mitchell. He was serving in the United States Marine Corps, but his best friend and son of Jonathan Irons, Will, convinced Jack to work for the Atlas Corporation. Now, spoiler alert a little bit here. I don't know if you guys want to hear this. Shut your ears. Will does die at the beginning of the game. And that is
someone has to.
Yeah, and that's what sets, I think, Jonathan Irons into even more of a revenge kick. Like maybe sending him over into that villain territory. We're not sure, but Will is the one that brings main character Jack into the Atlas Corporation. Now, he's essentially a silent protagonist in the game. The only time you actually will hear Jack is in cutscenes, and this was a decision that Sledgehammer made. They said they made this choice because during gameplay they don't want his voice interrupting the moments. I'm not sure how I feel about that exactly. I think it's a little bit weird to have that disconnect where he's speaking during cutscenes and not during gameplay. Mm-hmm. A little weird. I think you should have just gone one way or the other, in my opinion. But I haven't played the game yet. I have to see how it works out. Now, you're going to be going through many different locations in the single player. This is one. That's San Francisco, of course. But you're going to be going to Arlington, Virginia. You're going to be going to Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, California, Detroit, Michigan, Greece, Bulgaria. Is it Lagos or Lagos, Nigeria? Lagos. And finally, Seoul, South Korea.
So you're basically going to be fighting Ebola.
Ooh. That sounds fun. Is that what causes a zombie outbreak? Ebola?
So.
Yeah?
Oh my god, that would be the best idea ever.
I played that pretty well, actually, to go with the multiplayer.
Well, to be fair, the Resident Evil story, the T-virus is made from the Ebola virus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they use the Ebola virus as, like, the base.
Yeah.
Woo, World Tour, says Derek. Yep, that's it for Call of Duty comments. But
all right, so now we're gonna talk to the part that most people want to talk about: multiplayer.
Hey,
now, let's be realistic. That's the main part of this game. That's the main part of this game for years. And the first thing everybody noticed, that EXO though.
Dat EXO.
Through the multiplayer, along with expanding your arsenal, is your customizable exoskeleton suit. It adds much more traversal, allowing you to boost both side to side. Forward is a little dash, as well as in the air. Giving you a big giant jump, as you've seen in a lot of trailers, like right here.
Yep, right there.
While in midair, you have the slam ability, which you'll probably see in about 10, 20 seconds. I don't know. I remember this show I watched it earlier. You'll be able to, so he's talking about the boost jump right here. But you'll be able to slam down the ground on your enemies, almost like Iron Man in a way, how he slams to the ground and doesn't punch it or anything like that. Now, your exosuit basically takes over for a lot of things that were commonly found in a lot of the games. A lot of your grenades and everything like that will be found in your exosuit.
Here he is. Boost slam.
There it is.
Boom.
Bam.
There you go.
Boosh.
Boosh.
Boosh slam.
Yeah.
So you have the familiar grenades like the frag grenade, the Semtex, and the smoke, but now you have some new ones like the explosive drone. We'll go and seek out enemies in the game. The threat grenade, which will actually determine enemy locations like you saw in the single player earlier with the red highlights of the players, and the spike drone. Which is pretty cool as well. The EMP is back, but you gotta think about it this way now. Like, the EMP was cool before, but the EMP now, your exosuit is all electronic, so you throw an EMP grenade out, and your enemy is now really debilitated, whereas before it was only somewhat.
Okay.
So, big thing too. Your exo has the abilities as well. Cloaking, there's a shield, there's hover, there's ping to give away enemy players' locations on the map. And one interesting one is your trophy system. It's returned, but it's actually part of your exosuit now.
Yeah.
So whereas before your trophy system, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, it's a trophy system that's something that basically deflects and adjusts grenades and all incoming explosives to a player or team. So that's something you can throw out with your hand, kind of like it almost looks like a force push.
Okay.
In a way, so it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Loadout has changed a little bit as well. They reworked the loadout system.
It used to be 10 point, right?
They used to be 10 point. They did quit pretty well, so they borrowed the 10 point, but they added that and made it a 13 point system. So if you're familiar with the Black Ops 2 and the Ghost Pick 10, it's similar. However, now with the 13, it will actually include your score streaks. So you have to play your score streaks into your pick 13 as well, which are a big thing too. Certain wild cards will affect the loadouts adding to the 13 as well. Not playing into that. So speaking of wild cards, people that are familiar with Ghost and Black Ops 2, there's customization options and some of them now that were perks before are now in wild cards. So some things like Overkill, where you can use two primary weapons instead of a primary and a secondary.
This is pretty cool. We were talking about loadouts just now, and you can go immediately to a firing range and test out your weapons and your loadout.
Right, and that's actually really nice. And he had something like that before in other ones, but this seems more advanced. And I'll get to this as your customization options.
Yeah.
But yeah, the perks again. But some new perks are going to be Overcharge, which extends the Exo's battery, and Gung Ho, which is pretty cool because now you can fire while you sprint.
Okay.
Which is something new to Call of Duty. In there, what else was there? Oh, and Score Streaks. Score Streaks now with modules. Modules allow you to modify and almost upgrade your score streaks. So let's say you have a turret, and you like your turret, but you wish you could do a little more. You can get a module that adds a rocket launcher to the turret. So you're constantly upgrading. This ain't your daddy's score streak. Is what I put down. Supply drops are actually new as well, and that's a big thing to the game. And this is kind of like the last little thing I added to the description of it. This is probably my favorite addition because it adds a little more customization. They're similar to battle packs that you have for Battlefield 4, so players of Battlefield 4 will be familiar with it. But there's any items. What's unique is the way that they're earned, so you get them instead of just getting them for leveling up or anything like that you got in Battlefield 4, there's challenges, so a certain amount of time played or a certain amount of kills or anything like that will get you a new supply drop. And they'll go in 3 tiers from enlisted to professional to elite, I think it is, yeah. So elite, they'll contain anything from weapon loot, which will be camo, weapon mods, anything that can really benefit your weapon. Then you have character gear, which is more like Vayne, the cosmetic stuff, so goggles, knee pads. So anybody likes any of the Vayne players, all cosmetics like goggles, knee pads, shoes, hats, necklaces, earrings, lipsticks. Alright, maybe they're the last 3. But you guys get the idea. Anything that doesn't really do anything to affect the game, but just looks pretty, will be on and a supply drop for your character gear. And then reinforcements. This is something that you could use once in the match. Kind of basically, it's essentially giving you either an extra perk or a kill streak in the game. They'll rank up from there. So new maps look great. They've added some layers and everything like that to. He wants
his bone.
Boogie. They added some layers to each of the levels to give it to a little bit more traverse. However, this is my new favorite mode. It's basically like It's basically a game of keep away, where you hold the ball, but you actually have to shoot it. So it's like basketball meets keep away at the same time. It looks really cool, but there's some cool things like you can't shoot with it. So some of the strategy will be you're running at me and I have the ball. Well, I throw it to you, so now you're disabled from shooting anybody, and I kill you in the meantime.
Gotcha.
So it looks really cool, and that's actually my most eager anticipated.
Let's hear from some people.
Playstyle.
Hopefully somebody has played Advanced Warfare. We had somebody earlier. But guys, Skype is live at the Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds. So please call in, and we can talk about Advanced Warfare. Either you're excited about it, or you've played it already, you've watched some streams that are currently going. Let us know. Let's bring the hype train into the station and finish off the show strong. And while we're doing that, let's acknowledge some of our Twitch charts. We just got several. Thank you so much to Gustav Vorn, Itchy Glitchy, Solar Dragon, Rush 59, Snipes, Crimson Killer 199, Dark Ganon, Snyder DX, Sarge 95, Middle Border HD, Austy 2 Games, James Sip 99, Stinky, and we're caught up. Thank you guys so much for the Twitch charts. Let's see where we're at, because we have a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find out. We are now at 1593. Can we get to 1600?
Oh, I want to see that number.
Oh man,
That'd be insane.
that would be 1444 where we started tonight. Can we get to 1600, guys?
I'll tell you, man, this new edition of the Twitch heart and the
I
bottom
know.
corner is awesome.
It is awesome. Guys, it's really easy. Just press square if you're in live from PlayStation, and then click the heart button, and you will follow us, and that means you'll get notifications when the Level Up Show goes live. You can also go to twitch.tv/the Level Up Show and heart us there, or subscribe if you guys really want to. If you like the show that much, we obviously pay close attention to our subscribers, and we give them a badge, and
more.
They're
6.
close friends of the Level Up Show. 6! Can we get to 1600, guys?
6 more.
That was Austin27. Thank you for the Twitch chart. And guys, don't forget that Skype is live. You're welcome to call in. And
So Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare questions, or anything we talked about
yeah,
tonight.
and let's see if anything's going on in the chat room as well. Let's see. Let's chat about COD. Thank you, Mark. Call of Duty year
You're
2054
Oh, Master
will be
Race
the
called back
future.
there.
Thank you, Crayola Joe for the Twitch heart. Master Rage, welcome back to the Level Up Show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much.
I saw that you guys were talking about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
And before you guys' show went live, I was kind of iffy on getting it, because I know I've played a lot of Call of Duties, and they always seem a bit like they're recycled, like really
Sure.
similar and stuff. So I was kind of hoping, because I kind of left when you guys were talking about it, is what's so special about Advanced Warfare besides that's in the future,
It's an entirely new developer, so it's going to be a different take on the series for sure. Sledgehammer's working on this one, and they are well known for the Dead Space series, and they were supposed to be working on a third-person Vietnam Call of Duty when they were pulled off of that.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be more of like a dark, character study type
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
So they were pulled off of that back when Modern Warfare 3 was in development, and I think that's what kind of pushed them into mainline Call of Duty. But really, the technology alone really pushes this into entirely new territory to the point where we almost wonder why Call of Duty is attached to the name at all.
Right.
It could be its own series. So this is very different from the other Call of Duties, in my opinion.
Right, this is going to be the first time in years that I bought a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Brand new.
So, would you guys recommend it?
Oh, yeah, I definitely
We're
would.
hearing good things right now.
Yeah, everything I've been seeing, both, pre-stuff, where I'm doing write-ups, as well as player feedback. I've been watching a lot of streams this weekend and everything like that, and everybody that's played it seems to really like it. People that have felt burned for the past couple of years have liked it too.
Exactly. I had a few people on my friends list message me saying, "Have you played?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't played.
Right.
How are you playing it?" And they're like, "I got it early." And I was like, "How is it?" And they're like, "This is the best one I've played in several years." So that's really optimistic right there. I hope it's good.
Yeah, and I did actually. So you guys mentioned it was made by Sledgehammer, right?
Yeah, Sledgehammer. That's right.
So that means that it's the same guys who made Timefall, right?
No.
That's Respawn. Respawn
Oh.
Entertainment was formed by Vince West and Adam Zappella.
Yeah.
And they were part of Infinity Ward. They actually started Infinity Ward. The last game they worked on was Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay, alright, never mind then.
Yeah.
Because I got confused there. I was gonna say, if they made Timefall, and, then I could see the connection, but never mind about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it does have the vibes a little
Yeah,
bit.
it does have a
but-
lot. They did borrow a lot from it. I think they said, this company's doing this. We kind of need to do something like that. But I think it actually works, in my opinion, better in this game than it did for what I saw in Titanfall. So
Yeah. Definitely.
Alright, so I'll definitely check it out then. Thanks for, thanks for resting my thoughts on the game.
No problem,
go.
man. Thanks for calling in.
Alright, thank you.
See you later.